I chose someone else and it didn't look like this. Yes, because you haven't taken the problem away. The problem was inside of you. And once you face this problem heads on, you will realize this like red flag in other people way easier. And you can stop it from happening again.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Infinite Abilities Podcast. I am your host, Nick Uhart, and we are here to encourage each other to find our own unique abilities. Let's go. This episode of the Infinite Abilities Podcast is brought to you by the one and only Infinite Toolbox, where just like all other toolboxes, we will get the job done, guaranteed. Whether you're an entrepreneur looking to save time, boost revenue, or automate your processes, Infinite Toolbox has got you covered. With powerful tools designed to drive leads, expand your reach, and gain your industry secrets, we help you work smarter, not harder. Are you ready to take your business to the next level? Visit us at infinitetoolbox.com. That's infinitetoolbox.com, and discover how infinite your potential really is.
Hi, everybody. Thanks for joining us today. I'm with Tina. She is an amazing coach. I've had the big luxury of getting to know her over the past few months. I love her work. I love what she stands for. Can you tell us a little bit about yourself?
Hi, it's so amazing, first of all, that I'm here. Thank you for having me. I'm Tina. I'm a Dream Life mentor, and I started out actually as a single coach and a relationship coach. And over time, I realized that that is not enough because actually people in relationships are happy when they're happy on their own. So I decided that I'm going to go for the individual, and I'm coaching more on the individual. But then that wasn't enough because you have to be really happy with yourself. Like you have to create that life that you want and that you embrace. And then when you couple it with someone, then you have a great likelihood that this is going to last. So I developed over the time to be a Dream Life mentor and to really help people overcoming obstacles, what is holding them back from creating their dream lives.
Awesome, amazing. And how long have you been helping people accomplish their dream life?
Well, if you count also the relationships, I think I'm doing that for 20 years. So I'm pretty old in the coaching industry. And I guess you kind of always help people develop in the dream life in a way. But to say and name it dream life, that is just recently, like the last years, that I really said like, okay, it's not just relationships. That's a part of the game, but it's not everything. So you have to have it all in place, like yourself, your health, your finances, and your job and your success and the relationship, because all in the end fuses together. And that makes your life being a dream life. That's what I believe.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I totally agree. What do you think would be probably the top one or two things that you consistently find yourself helping people with to accomplish this?
Many people, they come with, I am stuck. Like, they're doing things, they're trying, but they hit the same obstacle over and over again. And whatever they try, they just don't manage to overcome it. It's always again at the same point. And that's normally a sign that there's not just an external obstacle, but it's something that internally holds them back from really like overcoming or stepping out of the sustainable pain zone. That's what I call it, because it's not comfortable there at all. So actually, it doesn't feel right where you are. You want to just evolve to something more. So I try to help them to just really find their way out and proceed forward to really get the life that they dreamed of.
Okay, and what's one of the best ways that you found to help people evolve into this new found version of themselves?
I think it's a step-by-step process to step-by-step, like do a little bit more and embrace what they don't want to look at. Because what I believe is what is holding them back is something like an inner fear or something, and they just don't want to look at it. Because that must have been something that was painful in the past, and they just stuffed it somewhere like a trash, and then they closed it and said like, that doesn't exist. everything that doesn't exist in our subconscious does exist. So only when we look at it and when we open this Pandora's box and say like, okay, it's there, it exists. And only when I realize it exists and face it like heads on, then I can make a conscious choice, because before it was just unconsciously always running behind, like a film, like a movie, but you don't even realize that it's there. So when you open
noise, yeah.
Exactly. And when you open this box and you face it, then you know it's there. And from that moment on, you have a choice. Like, okay, I know I can do what I always did. Probably I get the same result. Or I can try something new. It might be scary. It might like feel a little bit uncomfortable, but I have a choice that I didn't have before. And from that moment on, I can really create something new because I see that there's other ways than I did before.
Okay, so yeah, really helping people push themselves to do something that they may not have done before, on top of cleaning out the skeletons in the closet per se.
Exactly.
Okay. Yeah,
I by the way.
yeah, I agree completely. I know we all have our at least fair share, if not at least one good skeleton in the closet that it's just buried there, and like you said, it's going on in the background. It's playing on repeat. Even if you're not thinking about it, your subconscious is still thinking about it. It would probably pop up in your dreams, or it'll pop up when you least expect it, or when you don't want it to. And tackling things like that and overcoming them is not only increases your self-confidence, but now your brain has more room to think about and focus on the things that actually matter and are important in your life now.
Exactly. And when we look at relationships, like people that are stuck in this, sometimes they replace just their partner with another partner. But then magically, after some time, the same things happen again. I'm like, why? I chose someone else and it didn't look like this. Yes, because you haven't taken the problem away. The problem was inside of you. And once you face this problem heads on, you will realize this like red flag in other people way easier. And you can stop it from happening again. And of course, this is like in every area of your life, not just in relationship, but this is an example that we best know, I'd say.
Oh, I totally agree. So not only being able to identify those red flags, but really once you learn what this problem is, or it sounds like obviously, reoccurring problem is usually the worst ones that we have in our lives, especially relationships, replacing somebody and having the same problem over and over again. You're also just attracting the same type of people because you are the same type of person.
Exactly. So, it's your energy. Your energy didn't change. And if we talk about relationship now, it's the same in your job. Like you want to be the entrepreneur or something, but you don't overcome a certain level. You can't because you're not there yet. So you have to like level up the game, and then the game will level up. It just will match you. It will always match your energy. And that's perfect what you said about attracting, because in the relationship, in your health, in your success, in your entrepreneurship, whatever you embrace, you will always attract what you are.
Yes, I agree 100%. Self-development is not only one of the best tools to get to where you want, but if you were already the person that was either deserving or able to attract the things that you want, you would already have them.
Exactly. And it starts with you. That's the only thing that you can change. If we try to change the outside, I mean, you can not only do so far, but what you change in yourself will change the way you look at things, but also your energy. So other things will come towards you because you are different.
Exactly. What do you think about focusing? We're talking more about self-development. How important do you think it is also to develop these relationships that you already have with people, professional, personal, or otherwise?
I think everything in life can be kind of seen as a relationship, because ultimately also what we have with yourself is a relationship. What you have with your health is a relationship. So you can't just look at the relationship that you have to yourself, that you have to your health, that you have to money, and then look at the results. And then see if the relationship works or not. So if you don't have money, if you constantly complain that you don't have money, I mean, does that feel like a place where money is loved and attracted and wants to be? It's the same like when you nag on your partner constantly. Does your partner feel well and welcome and wants to stay? No. And it's like the whole energy around it. It's a relationship that you have with everything in your life, including yourself. And if it doesn't work, because the outcome isn't there, the outcome that you desire, look at the relationship and change it. So self-growth and self-development is, according to me, one of the most important things if you want to evolve in your life and other results.
That's very interesting the way that you just put that. Actually, I never thought of it that way, because I always think self-development and it's like you have to develop yourself, and it's just like, I mean, I know like there's like the life pillars, but I've never thought about it in the relationship way where you have the self-development, which I just previously thought about 5 minutes ago was like you have this relationship with yourself and like it just slowly increases, whereas you actually have your relationship with yourself based on each pillar of your life. So let's say, financial, the big ones are usually financial, religious, intelligence, health, so like physical, and I think there's one more big one. You help me out here.
For the families, you mean, or education?
Yeah, intelligence, yeah. So like having your relationship with each one of those pillars is something that you could work on and then therefore attract the thing that you want in that in order to grow that specific thing, rather than just doing kind of one size fits all approach.
Yeah. And you can look at your relationship the way you think about the things. Like, where are you investing yourself, your money and everything in? Is it yourself? Is it your growth? Or is it some kind of entertainment? I'm not saying that entertainment is the devil or is wrong. It's not. But if you want to grow and if you want to change, entertainment is not going to change you. But evolving, growing, outgrowing who you were and getting something bigger, something like that is more than you, it's more fitting to who you want to be, that will help you to change your life.
Okay, I agree 100%. That's funny. I know Alex Hormozy, actually, that makes me think of content creating, because everyone loves being entertained. So when you create entertaining content, it's going to perform very well. So not everyone likes being educated. So when you make educational content, it's not going to perform as well as entertaining content. But which one is going to help you?
It's obviously the education. There's this edutainment thing. I think that's the new thing of fusing the things.
Edutainment.
Edutaining.
Yep. I follow Alex Hormozy. That's one of his things exactly. So you got the entertainment on one side and education on one side. So if you try to meet in the middle, then therefore you're still being entertaining enough to hold attention, because that's really what we want to be entertained, why we like being entertained, because it holds our attention. And that's why Netflix and all these big people do so well, versus I think Hormozy's platform for teaching and for online, which is just as easy to get at, is School, like SKOOL. Not to promote him, but just he's so awesome. I love him. And you have one side versus the other. Like, we all know whose numbers are bigger, like, Facebook, YouTube, like the entertainment, and YouTube hits both, of course. So, you have.
The thing is that the classical education is just like giving input, and it's just like feeding the brain. But feeding the brain alone is not enough. Because
what do you mean by classical education?
When we look at children, they don't learn by classical input into their brain. They do things, and learning by doing is obviously bringing you way more you evolve very much faster than if you would just feed your brain. So if you have some fun, loving is helping you so much in remembering things. But also you do actually physically do things, and learn, not just through one channel like your ears, but you do visual, you do audio, and you do like kinesthetic things, then your learning experience is just way, way more exponential. So I agree completely with this edutainment, and I let people do things when they learn. It's not just like a blah, 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 because that actually, yeah, of course, I mean, you have to stimulate as well, but they have to do some actions as well. That's way much more life-changing.
I agree.
They did the first step, you know, like it's not like just they hear something, they already did a step, which gives them a little success. So it's great.
Yeah, that's amazing. So I love that self-development portion of you trying to help others. What's another big thing that you find that you are consistently helping people with?
Fears of not succeeding, fears of I don't know, not being good enough, not knowing enough, not having enough information to put that thing out there. So this, but overall, it's fears.
Yeah.
Like whatever they're telling themselves in their mind, why they cannot do it. That's, I think, one of the biggest obstacles at all.
Yeah. Yep. Everything from imposter syndrome to actual fears of something physical.
Yeah. It's like it's everything. And the strange thing or the difficult thing about fears is they don't appear as fears. So people wouldn't tell you, I am afraid that I'm not good enough. Then it's many times it's like procrastination that shows up. They say like, yeah, but I don't have time and I don't have money, and whatever the reason their mind is telling them. Like I have so many other things to do, which comes back to I don't have time. But what is holding them back is not the agenda of others, if they would understand that. But what is holding them back is their inner fear of doing the first step, starting, overcoming this I'm not good enough that was taught very much through education in our life, because school is rating us all the time. So every time we get a bad mark, we learn we're not good enough. And we got the impression that we have to learn more and be more and everything. So, but successful people, they just do it. And then, okay, maybe it didn't work. Then they learn from what they did and didn't work, and they do it again. So actually, it's taking action that will change something. And this always includes overcoming fear.
So you're I can imagine one of your mantras is taking action is going to be one of the things that's going to help you overcome your fears.
It has to be like an action that is not like you cannot jump from 0 to 10.
Mm-hmm.
So you break it down to little steps and take the first little step and not just the jump. Because if I would ask someone that cannot swim to jump into the 10-meter pool, they're going to go like,
not a good idea.
You know? And not even with protection. So you have to just approach it like step by step. And there is always exercises they can like do to begin with. So for example, if you want to be a speaker, it doesn't mean that I would put you on a stage with 10,000 people. So maybe you just talk to your friends first about something that you feel uncomfortable with. It's a first little step that you can take. And step by step, escape this sustainable pain zone and to become the person that you want to be.
And then maybe pop on some podcasts, of course.
Or whatever. I mean, like Facebook Live, great thing to like learn to be in front of an audience, and it's your friends, which makes it difficult and easy at the same time.
Yeah, definitely. I know that was one of the great things Nick actually used to boost his confidence is making videos, which technically is just the same as a Facebook Live. So recording yourself and talking to. At first it's friends, but now Nick has, I think my last count was you guys are over 14,000 or so. So now he has a following, an audience, and that's not just his friends, obviously. So but he's gotten better at it, and now he's attracting more people. He started his podcast. Here we are now. He's growing, and he's getting over that fear of when I first met Nick. He could not go into a restaurant and order from the waiter. He was his confidence was so low. Yeah, he would he'd ask me like the first time I met him at a diner, and he's like, oh, like, can you get me the whatever, which, you know, at that point he was stuttering a lot with his CP and everything, and he'd ask me to order for him. And now it's just like he will not only like order from the waiter, but he's gonna like call you out and make you uncomfortable and like not even like care, because his confidence level has really increased to a point where he rarely even stampers over his words or gets caught up on
That's
them
amazing.
due to his CP.
Great congratulations for that. It's amazing.
Awesome. All right, is there any other big topics you'd like to hit?
Well, I think this is the biggest topic because in the end, every obstacle or anything that people come with comes back to that. Because it's always, most of the time it's an inner thing that holds you back, whether it's procrastination, whether it's the same relationship topic, whether it's I cannot go forward to my goal, even if I have health things, like I cannot stop smoking, for example, if we just take that. Why can you not stop? Where's the obstacle? And normally, I mean, for example, I am afraid of the withdrawal effects from quitting smoking. This is something that holds people back from actually approaching their health. And I mean, actually, for stopping smoking, you just have to not do something. So it's not even you have to learn something. And it's just a limited time where it really feels uncomfortable. But the body is magic. It adapts to everything. So, and you can speed up the process with some little tweaks and details. So, and of course, if you additionally work mentally, I mean, what can you not do if you really want to do it?
Exactly. Nick and I are up in like Minnesota, and, you know, say we are and will soon move down to Florida. You know, that's going to be a totally different climate, and like our bodies will adapt.
Yeah, sure.
So I find health is one of the, it's weird. It's like, it's strange because it should be the easiest thing, because you know you're smoking, so you know you should stop because you don't want to die earlier, right? Like, you would think that you'd want to live earlier, but it's always about that instant gratification, because that's the society that we've been growing up in. We want to instantly get, you know, that A on a report card, because that's how we're marked. That's how we're taught. That's how we've been learning things, is through the system. We're not.
And it's so many things. It's not just there, because sometimes you talk to a client and they tell you you're too expensive or anything, or I cannot like invest that money right now, but they go on a vacation. So that's the instant gratification versus my dream life. And then you have to just sit down with yourself and think about, what are you choosing? Like the moment or the life? And I'm not saying that it's not uncomfortable to go to your dream life. It is work. I mean, obviously you have to do. Yeah. So it's not like a snap with a finger. I'm not Genie. You're not Genie. No one is Genie. We cannot just make the head and then it's done. You have to put in the work. But at the end, the gratification that you get, that is lasting with you for the rest of your life. Like, vacation, my entire life is changing. What do I choose? And for me personally, I would choose my life, because a vacation will come all the time. But my life is still like that. So
I love that. So it's like instant versus delayed gratification. So we all love instant gratification, of course, but it's fleeting. You can smoke the cigarette or eat the cheeseburger, and it will be nice. But what about tomorrow?
Exactly. And if you're taking the same decision tomorrow again, so after a while, you have the effects there in your life. Like really affects your health, it affects your happiness, it affects your relationships, and then end. But at what time will you choose you? Because it's not a question about choosing the gratification, it's choosing you over the gratification.
Yes, definitely. And then you think about delayed gratification. So now you're making the choice to do this task, let's say like us growing this podcast. It's not easy to release an episode every other day. Nick does a recording. Nick does a recording every single day. We're already up to episode 124. This is what this one is, I believe. And every single day you have to make the choice to work towards something that in the future it will still be there tomorrow.
Exactly. That's what it is. And I think the moment you understand that if you choose you and move towards your life, you will see gratification differently. And then you will realize that every step that you take towards what you really want in your life is a gratification, because every little success feels just like so much better than just whatever cigarette, a hamburger, or even a vacation.
Okay, yeah. So the little step. I know I hear from some of my mentors that focusing on the process and not the goal sometimes makes the process more enjoyable. Like those little tasks, you know. So not smoking today, like, yes, it sucks. I still want to smoke, but I didn't, and I did that. I accomplished it, and I'm going to be better for it, and I'm going to get returns for that further down the road. Not
Or
only
getting up in the morning and going for a walk or doing some sports. I mean, yes, of course, it will hurt the first weeks. Your muscles will burn, it will feel uncomfortable, and your energy level will be a little bit like, oh my God, really again up and doing sports. But hey, if you continuously do it, after some weeks, you will feel amazing. You feel your body shaping, you feel your energy increasing, and you don't want to miss it. So the change is faster than you thought at the beginning.
Your body adapts.
Well, yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I love running myself. So I know when I take breaks from and I don't exercise, I don't run, my energy drops, my motivation, everything lowers and everything stops, and then it's even harder to want to keep going. But I know because I've done it before. I like running 5Ks. I know on my first race I'd placed 6th in my age group. I was like, that's not bad for a month of training. So, but it gives you energy. You feel good. You get the delayed gratification.
Exactly. And every morning when you did it, and especially the mornings when you don't want to do it, but you did it, and after that you're in the shower, you're going to be like, yes, you feel like a hero because you overcame yourself. And I mean, that's fantastic.
I like that too. You said showers too. So I actually take cold showers also because of the health and mental benefits from that. So it's like, do I want to take a cold shower? Hell no. Especially we're up here in Minnesota. I've taken cold showers down in Florida, and we've measured I didn't thermometer the water down there, but it's not as cold as up here. I know I took the thermometer in there. I think it's 51 degrees or something like that. So it's not an ice plunge or not a cold plunge, but it's uncomfortable. You're like, I do not want to do this. But when you're done, number one, you're not wasting so much time in the shower. When you're in a nice, warm, hot shower, it's fun to just you can take a half-hour shower. You're not going to be like, oh, well, there goes a half hour, but it was enjoyable. You don't ever you're not going to take a half-hour cold shower. It's just not going to happen. So, and then you get the dopamine hits and everything for that afterwards. So it's worth the pain, even though you don't want to do it. You get the delayed gratification.
Exactly. And I think this is with everything in your life. Just do it. And then after the first uncomfortable things, if you overcame that, the gratification is there. Proud of yourself. I mean, hello, be proud of yourself. When you feel that you can really be proud of yourself, that changes a lot in your life. It changes your energy so much. Because probably before you were always feeling a little guilty that you didn't do it. So now you feel proud of yourself because you did it. Oh, I mean, just thinking of that, fills me with energy.
Yeah, exactly. The boost in confidence not only affects you and you're doing better in that aspects of your life, you're going to be filled with energy, like you said, and you're smiling, and that makes your whole life better. So it affects every area of your life.
Exactly.
All ships rise with the tide. Awesome. So I know Nick asked this question to all of our guests. our slogan is "Your abilities are infinite." So, what does that mean to you?
I think basically the only boundaries or only things that you cannot overcome is what you believe you cannot overcome. So for me, for example, when I was in snowboarding, I was told when I had an accident that I probably cannot walk again. And
Ooh.
so I was like, because the doctor didn't let me go to the toilet, I didn't like him because it was urgent. And I was thinking like,
Weren't you paralyzed?
I was paralyzed. I had 2 incidents in my life. So one time I just had a really terrible accident where my tibia was split. And the second time, and they said they're probably never going to walk again. And I didn't believe the doctor. And I was like, I don't like him. I don't believe him. I take another opinion. The second doctor said to me, we got this. Just this. It didn't mean you walk. I heard it. I believed it. And 6 weeks later, I was up on my snowboard again for the first time. And the second time, so yeah, it happened actually 2 times in my life, which is crazy itself.
You split it again?
The second time I jumped off in a horse in Mongolia, like in somewhere where we would get waterfalls, and suddenly I couldn't get up anymore and I was paralyzed. Like my left leg, it didn't work anymore. Nothing at all. And and I had to come back, like learning all these things again and believing in myself that it will work again. And actually that changed my life a lot because that made me question every choice that I had taken in my life until this point, because that made me realize, because paralyzation is an accident is something that you cannot influence. So it happens, okay, but paralyzation, it comes from one second to the other. And it was the first time in my life I realized that's how fast life can be over. And that was instant to the other. And that was when I thought, okay, where in your life are you not yet doing what makes you completely happy? And from now on, you're going to change this. You're not going to hold on to anything that doesn't make you happy because you not know how long you're going to stay on this planet.
Yeah.
And that made me like even go faster and more willingly towards my dream life and even confront the fears that I was like a little bit sloppy with before. Because you're just, there are things that you think like you can postpone. There's a better moment in your life, and it's the little voice that talks to you. It's the little voice that tells you all these things that many people have, and I was talking about it before. It's the fear, but it's the voice that is talking differently. It's not telling you you're afraid of something. It's telling you, you can do that later or something like that. No, you can't. Or let's say you can, maybe, but you don't know that. So if you want to make sure that you're going to do it in your life, do it now.
Yeah. Yeah, do it now. Otherwise you'll feel that it's like, it's funny, like you said that, like everything changed in an instant. So it's like instant instead of instant gratification, it's the exact opposite.
Yeah, but it's the thing, like it's your life, embrace it, do it now, because you don't know if you have a chance. And like, I mean, this is like told many times, but I bring it up now. If you ask people at their deathbed, they're not going to tell you about, I didn't get enough money, I didn't wait enough time for that. They say like, I would have loved to do this, and I'm sad that I didn't do it when I had the time.
Yes. I know that's.
Tell us, but we don't listen.
Yep. I know somebody did actually, I think there's a book written about that. They interviewed like dozens of people on their deathbed, and I think that was the number one or number two thing is they didn't do all the things that they know they could have done or should have done.
And for me, it took 2 times when doctors tell me that I might not be able to walk again until I understood this. And I now tell everyone, don't wait until something like this happens to you. Do it now. So, I mean, I'm grateful it happened to me. So I woke up finally.
Yeah, that's amazing. That's amazing. Okay, do you want to share any final thoughts or tips for the audience?
Well, for me, I guess what I would like to give to everyone is, if you're just risk to look out of your comfort zone, like just open the window a little bit and look what's out there. And if you're just risking to imagine that this can be your reality, and take one little first step and see if it works for you, you can improve your life. And don't wait for that. Do that every day, one little thing.
I love that. I'm imagining like like a little person like looking like a miniature elf or something, like looking out the window, like, is it safe to go outside? Like just something like that. That's amazing. I love that. So how would people get a hold of you if they are interested in connecting with you?
The best thing is to go to my website. It's www.tinaenglish.com. TINAENGLISCH. CH is not the English version of writing it.
Yeah.
On my
I'll put a link. I'll put a link in the bio.
Yeah, okay. And for Facebook, Instagram, and LinkedIn, it's the handle Tina English.
Awesome. Well, this has been amazing. I'm so glad I got to talk with you. I definitely love everything that we had to talk about and how it all kind of wrapped up and connected to with each other, and your little final gift that you gave the audience. I think it's so important for people to look for something that is going to actually improve their life, because if you're not 100% with where you are now, how are you going to get there?
Exactly. Just by looking out of the window and doing the first step. Thank you so much for having me. It was a pleasure to talk to you, and I love being on your show today.
Awesome. Okay.
If you enjoyed this show, please go ahead and share it on your Instagram story and tag me here. The Nick Your Heart. Also, go ahead and share it anywhere else that you see fit, because the only way that I can grow this is by you guys sharing it. I don't sell anything on here. I don't have any sponsors. So let's just get it out there by word of mouth, help more people. Alright, everyone. Remember, your abilities are infinite.